liquid that was made from fleas.
Liquid fleas, okay.
Yeah, and she accidentally
And she makes you scratch
she
all the
accidentally-
time.
It looks
Yeah.
like coffee, and she thinks it's a cup of coffee, and she drinks it. And everybody starts to-
Here's what I can get out of that. Because we're not doing the comic book here. Here's what I can get out of that. I can get that if she has something to do with insects, then we can use either some of the powers or some of the looks of an insect. Now, if you guys really look at an insect book, if you guys are coming up with bad guys, insects are the coolest. He kind of looks like a mutated insect right there, right? I love those. What do you think Alien look like? Aliens he's just like a distorted bug. Essentially. So bugs, they work because they got like 9 legs. And I always hated that aliens, which is why I think the Alien movie is so popular. I always hated that in comic books and a lot of other places, when you go to like the planet Nanu or something, that everybody had like 2 arms and 2 legs. No way. If I'm going to go and travel like 20,000 light years, I don't want to get off and see somebody who looks like my dad with a beer belly, you know? I want like, wow, that looks like the tree in my backyard with fangs, you know? Because I've never seen a walking tree, so I want to see something that's cool to look at. And you know what? You know what's the coolest thing about designing monsters? You never draw a wrong monster. You know why? You don't tell me where those warts go. What, you seen that guy before? Right? That's why I draw a lot of money. You can't tell me those fangs are wrong. What, you seen this guy? No, there's no wrong fangs, arms, knuckles, no way. So we'll give her maybe a little bit of an insect look, and we'll just have to figure out what that's going to be. So, okay, go ahead.
I like it when like a supervillain has his hands really tight and there's like something glowing around the hands.
Oh, I like this bunny.
Yeah.
Okay.
Something similar to that.
Okay, now she's gonna be the bad babe, right?
Yeah.
Okay. We'll have to worry about her feet a little bit later or something. She's gonna be the bad babe here, so we got to come up with. And you guys want her to be simple? Okay. Okay. We'll do a little bit of coloring when we're done here, but black is pretty hot, so I don't know whether you guys want her to be open, be black, what you guys really want out of her. Do we want to make her look wild? And the way to make them look wild is either you give them some strapping, or you give them some wiggy wild hairdo. Do you want the hair to just be on one side? She's half bald. You know what I'm saying? Like, sometimes I like to try and think about what hasn't been done before. So there's no reason why she has to be symmetrical. If you go see the car, you'll see that there's 2 paint jobs on it. You don't have to paint a car perfect. What do you guys see? Do you guys see a headgear? Do you guys see wild hair? Do you see hair coming out of headgear? You see her kind of bald with horn? She's going to be.
Horns.
Pardon me?
Set of ram's horns.
Set of ram's horns? We can do it. We can do it. Okay. Okay, we're going to give her some ram horns. Now, you can either go ram horns up or ram horns down. You know what? I think they look cooler going down. And even though they're not going to poke anything, I think they just look cool. So we'll give her some coming down here and make them a little bit mean here. So we'll come, and we'll give them a little tuck in the corner here. Okay. And this one is going to come here.
Todd, if we were to stick to the insect theme also, maybe like a praying mantis really seems to exhibit fear. Maybe on the inside of the elbow joints have little, barbs. Maybe behind the knees also barbs. You know how the praying mantis has the barbs and they crush the prey in there?
Yeah.
That could be something like it.
Okay. Sounds good. Okay, so we'll give her the horns here, and then probably. Do we give her masking? Do we give her not masking, but even makeup stuff on her face? You want to give her a mark on her face? Sometimes the markings look pretty cool.
Yeah, or either that, or maybe even like have her do makeup so she could change it, so it's not always the same.
Okay. So we'll give her.
Especially for an insect.
Okay, we'll give her. Well, this is what we're going to do. I'm going to cut her face in half, and not make it symmetrical. So and we'll put it here. And then, as a matter of fact, I wonder if I should make this mark black just for no reason but to make it black here. So let me just do this, and then I'll show you what we've got, and we can go from there. If we actually, I'll leave some of it open. And we can go from there.
Todd, to stick with the storyline, Spawn was supposedly made through the pact with the devil. Why do you have this same character, another pact with the devil, but this time the devil's sending her back to make Spawn use up all his powers?
You know, except for if you read number 4, the devil doesn't want him to use up all his powers, because he's down there for a reason, and him using up his powers doesn't really. He gave him the power, so he doesn't want him to burn it. You know, he wants him actually to be conservative with it, but basically he wants him to be a bad guy, and he wants him to go after like bullies, and he wants him to spread evil more than anything else, and that's what his whole gig is right there. Let's make these a little.
If she's gonna be like an insect, then we should like give her like segments, I guess.
Get rid of what?
A segmented look, sort of.
Segmented lips. Okay,
No,
I can
segmented
do.
look.
Yeah. No, I know what you're saying. On this small drawing, I'm not gonna be able to do that. So, is there a spot on her that we could do some segmenting on
Like
her?
in her abdomen area.
Okay, we'll come in there with a segmented abdomen. There we go. Abdomen. Yeah. Now, do you guys actually look at, like, when you see, like, battle armor on people, do you guys, now, tell me, honestly, do you guys actually go, how can he raise his arm? I just want to know, because when I'm creating characters, I want to know whether, like, I create stuff that, like, bugs you guys. Okay, we'll give her that, and we even make it a little metallic-y here, so we'll give it a little bit of a shine to it. So the guy hanging around here, Chance Wolf, who did the logo, I might even, maybe once we get Chance's here today, maybe what we'll do is when we're going to get to the name, I'll get Chance up here, and he can whip out a logo for us too, so we've got like a logo to go with her. So here's what we got, and we gotta go from here. We're going to go subtle. We got segmented abdomen. We got the horn. And we've got the marking on her face. We can make we'll decide later in the color whether we want the rest of her face to be flesh or white or green or purple or whatever else. I'm gonna give her blank eyes, and the reason I want to give her blank eyes, my thought process behind it is, blank eyes look meaner and are scarier than when you can actually see pupils. That's why skulls are so intimidating. So I'm gonna give her a blank eye on both sides. For now, I'm not even gonna give her an eyebrow, because then her eyes will look a little bit meaner if I curve up her eyelashes just a bit. But I say we give her like blank staring eyeballs here. So now, next thing we got to do is we got to come up with something that she's going to be somewhat formidable for. She's going to take on the Spawn. We're going to go with the bug motif still. So let's throw a little bit of bug stuff now. I'm just going to run it out here, and we're going to let the audience basically make an arbitrary guess. Individuals in the audience make the arbitrary guess, and we're going to live with it. Everybody here today is going to live with it. Bugs have, little pinchers on them. Okay, some of them have them on the sides of their heads. Basically, that's what that is. Some of them have them, on their arms and whatever else. I say that we got to put some kind of pinchers on her. Now, do you want me to put the pinchers on her legs, like coming out from her legs, or do you want me to put them on her like forearms so she can almost use them as a defensive thing or as a weapon?
On her arms.
Okay, now how about, you want to see those spikes? We'll make them kind of like little spikes. Do you want to see them coming downwards so they look like a Batman type thing? Or do you think if we curve them the opposite of Batman, they're like this, that when she's punching and stuff, she's got like some points or something like that?
Well, I think if they were pointing up, they'd be more aggressive. She could be like jabbing and sticking him or something.
Okay, and then they're not going to be able to maybe grab her wrist or something like that.
Right.
So okay, so we've got it there. We've got one down. Let's give her the pinchers. Now, let's make it, since she is going to be a bit of a insect looking, let's give it segmented ones, and maybe what we'll do is give her 3. Seems to be a good number. It's good for old bats. It's good for us. So We'll give her 1, 2, 3. Now, I can always modify these things and make them a little more slicker once I get down to actually drawing her in the comic book. So these, again, will be just guidelines for me to do what I've got to do here. So we got 1 on that side, and we got to come here, and we're going to go 1 here, 2 here, and 3 here. And those will extend almost like a little bit of closet. So, okay, we'll come up in here, and we'll segment it a bit. Perfect. Okay, now, do we want to give her anything, since she's got the spikes there, we want to keep her clean. Do we want to give her anything under her arms? Do you want to see anything underneath her arms?
If it's something underneath her arms, I don't think she'd really be related to the insect world. It's
Okay.
either that or it's got to be something really
Okay.
subtle.
Okay. Well, what do you see that I could put? How about like on her hand? What could I put on her hand? You see like a claw? or what?
The webbing has been used.
Right,
The
right.
claws have been used.
Right.
The only thing you can go with maybe is just pretty fingernails.
A pretty fingernail? So she won't have any gloves or anything. We'll just make it
No, she's got to be
barehanded?
barehanded.
Okay, we'll give her pretty fingers. You got it. Pretty fingers. We're getting there. Now I'm using a pretty thick felt tip marker, which I usually use something that's about the size of a hair. So if we don't have quite the prettiness that we're looking for here, then please bear with me. Okay, we're going to give her that now. So obviously, if she's not wearing gloves, then we got to have something else that's maybe protecting part of her hand. So maybe I'll give her a Michael Jackson glove. You know, the ones cropped off at the knuckles? That's what we'll do. We'll give her something at the knuckle. So, And we can make the fingernails a little bit longer than usual because she's going to be kind of a bad babe. So they let theirs go a little bit longer. Although Fu Manchu is the guy who makes his go the longest. So, and we come up with the thumb here. Perfect. And here, and we'll give it to Michael Jackson. Okay, just so she's got something on the hand. Because in that way, we can always say that if those pinchers on her arms might be attached to a glove thing that comes running up and down, and maybe we strap it up on her arm. So now why don't we even do that? Because in that way, we've got the option of never ever taking it off, or we can say, yeah, it's strapped on, and if it's going to be strapped on, then it can be taken off. So she's got the option of being human if we ever want to make her human down the line. So we'll come in here, give her a bit of a sharp, pointy elbow so that they don't want to come up and get her. Okay. And we'll come up in here. And we'll do the same over here. Okay, now, we need something on her legs.
Oh, I was thinking something like a tail, maybe, like plated, like the abdomen there. Coming down from the back.
Coming on her rear.
Yeah.
How about we originally wanted to keep her simple. So how about if we use kind of a tail has almost like a belt ornament?
Sounds good.
You know, then that way she can like pull it off if she needs it and use it like a tail or a whip or something like that.
Yeah.
But then she's not being encumbered by it kind of being on her running between her legs and tripping and stuff like that. So since we've drawn the abdomen muscles already, we'll make this thing at a slant. So the cool thing about doing like a whip thing, as I always do, is it's always running all over the place. So we'll make it running back behind her here and then cut up in here. Do we want spikes at the end of that?
Yeah.
Should we put spikes? We'll put a spike at the end of that, okay.
It could even be retractable too. You can pull it in or out.
Okay. That the naysayers of comic books always go, the women, they make them too well endowed, you know? And it's like, women aren't like that. And you know what? They're right. Women don't really got big chests. But you know what? The average guy doesn't got a set of lungs on him like Superman does either. So we don't seem to have any problem with the